The night air was thick with the chill of early autumn, leaves skittering across the pavement as I hurried down the familiar street toward Emma's house. Her late-night text had been brief, her words laced with urgency and frustration. Asterisk, can you come over? I just need someone to talk to. Asterisk. Emma wasn't the type to reach out like this, especially not past midnight. Whatever was troubling her had to be serious. My feet moved faster, concern clawing at my chest as I replayed our last conversation. She'd been distant lately, her replies shorter, her laughter forced. Something was wrong, and tonight, I was determined to find out what. Her house loomed at the end of the block, its silhouette framed by the dim glow of a street lamp. When I reached the front porch, my heart stuttered at the sight of her door slightly ajar, a thin line of darkness stretching from the frame. Emma! I called softly, my voice swallowed by the stillness. The usual warmth of her home felt hollow, the air heavy and unsettling. I pushed the door open a little wider and stepped inside, the quiet creak of the hinges echoing through the darkness. My fingers grazed the light switch, but I hesitated. What if something was truly wrong? What if she was hurt or worse? I moved cautiously, guided by the dim glow of the kitchen's nightlight. Emma! I tried again, my voice trembling this time. No response. Swallowing my fear, I continued forward. The living room was empty, the television off, the familiar throw blanket neatly folded on the couch. But the silence was unnatural, an eerie quiet that only deepened my worry. I hesitated at the base of the staircase, straining to catch any sound. That's when I heard it, a muffled laugh from upstairs, followed by the low hum of conversation. Relief flooded me, but it was quickly replaced by confusion. If Emma was with someone, why hadn't she answered me? Taking the steps two at a time, I reached the top landing and made my way to her bedroom. The door was cracked open, just enough for me to peer inside. And what I saw left me frozen. Emma was there, but she wasn't alone. Jason, her longtime crush and the guy she'd been too shy to even talk to for years, was with her. They were lying on the bed, lost in each other's presence, laughter and gentle words exchanged like secrets. Shock rippled through me, mingling with embarrassment and something I couldn't quite name. I must have shifted too close to the door, because suddenly their attention snapped toward me. Alex! Emma's eyes widened, her expression caught somewhere between surprise and guilt. What are you doing here? Her question hung in the air, and I knew there was no easy way to answer. I was just, my words tumbled out, clumsy and desperate, my throat suddenly dry. Emma's expression shifted from surprise to something softer, but Jason looked just as startled as I felt. Alex, what are you doing here? Emma repeated, her voice calmer now but still laced with confusion. I tore my gaze away from Jason, trying to steady myself. You texted me. You said you needed someone to talk to, so I came over. Your door was open, and I thought something was wrong. Emma's eyes widened with realization, her cheeks flushing with embarrassment. Oh, God. I'm so sorry. I didn't think you'd actually come over tonight. The awkwardness was palpable, a thick, unyielding weight pressing down on all of us. Jason had shifted to sit up, his posture tense as if ready to bolt at any moment. It's fine. I glanced between the two of them, struggling to piece my thoughts together. I was just worried, you know? You sounded so upset in your text. Emma's expression softened. I was upset. But then Jason showed up to cheer me up, and things just, sort of happened. I tried to mask the hurt that flared inside me, though I couldn't entirely understand why it stung so much. Emma had every right to spend time with whoever she wanted. But finding her like this, after weeks of feeling her slip away from me, left a bitter taste in my mouth. Sorry, man, Jason spoke up, his voice apologetic but guarded. Didn't mean to intrude or anything. Emma mentioned you were her best friend. I should have been more considerate. Yeah, no, it's fine, I replied, my words rushing out too quickly. I guess I just showed up at a really bad time. Emma sighed, her fingers twisting nervously in the fabric of her blanket. I should have texted you again, told you I was okay. But everything just happened so fast. I nodded, feeling my shoulders sag with a mix of relief and awkwardness. At least Emma was safe. That was the important part. But still, something felt fractured. Maybe I should go, I mumbled, already taking a step back. No, wait. Emma's voice was firm, her gaze holding mine with an intensity one hadn't seen in weeks. Can you stay a little while? I want to talk. Alone. Jason glanced at her, brows knitting together before he nodded. I'll give you guys some space. I'll be downstairs if you need me. With a glance my way, he slipped out of the room, leaving Emma and me alone in the silence. The awkwardness lingered, but beneath it was a sense of urgency, of words left unspoken that needed to be freed. I just hoped whatever Emma had to say would make sense of this mess. The door clicked shut behind Jason, leaving Emma and me in a silence that felt both heavy and brittle. I shifted uncomfortably, my fingers fidgeting with the strap of my bag. Emma looked at me, her eyes uncertain but determined. Alex, I'm really sorry about this. I should have been clearer. I didn't mean to make you worry. Her voice was low, the guilt evident in every word. It's okay, I replied, though my voice sounded hollow even to my own ears. I thought something happened. I rushed over without thinking. Emma's gaze softened. I know. And I appreciate that you care. I've just been so caught up in my own mess lately. Things have been weird, and I haven't been the best at talking about it. I nodded, feeling the tension between us start to loosen, if only slightly. You've been distant. I thought maybe I did something to upset you. She shook her head quickly. No, it's nothing you did. It's just me, trying to figure out what I want and who I am, I guess. And then Jason showed up tonight, completely unplanned. We were talking, and one thing led to another. I get it. It's just weird, you know? You're my best friend, and lately, it feels like you've been slipping away. Emma's shoulders slumped, her fingers nervously twisting a loose thread on her blanket. I know. And that's on me. I've been so wrapped up in trying to sort through my own feelings that I haven't considered how it was affecting you. Do you like him? I asked, the words tasting strange as they left my mouth. Emma hesitated before nodding. Yeah, I think I do. But that doesn't mean I want our friendship to fall apart. You mean so much to me, Alex. And I hate that I made you feel like you weren't important. The sincerity in her voice settled something deep inside me. It wasn't like everything was magically fixed, but her honesty meant more than I realized. I just wish you'd told me what was going on, I admitted, instead of leaving me in the dark. You're right. And I'll do better. I promise. Emma's smile was small but genuine. Can we try to move past this? I don't want to lose you over something that could have been fixed by just talking. Yeah, I agreed, the weight on my chest finally easing. We're good. But you owe me at least one late-night rant session to make up for all the worry. Emma laughed, the sound warm and familiar. Deal. The tension between us finally broke, replaced by something closer to the easy comfort we once shared. There was still more to discuss, more to work through, but for now, things were okay. Wanna head downstairs? Jason's probably feeling like he ruined everything, Emma said, her voice lighter now. Sure, I replied, feeling the first real smile in what felt like ages. Let's not keep him waiting. Emma and I made our way downstairs, the creak of each step echoing through the quiet house. Jason was sitting awkwardly on the living room couch, his fingers tapping rhythmically against his knee. His eyes darted up when we entered, his expression cautious, like he was bracing for bad news. Hey, he greeted, his voice careful. Everything okay? Yeah, Emma replied with a reassuring smile. We just needed to talk things out. Sorry about all the awkwardness. Jason chuckled, his shoulders relaxing. I get it. I was just worried I messed something up. No, you didn't, I said, managing a genuine smile. I was just caught off guard. But it's all good now. The tension in the room softened, replaced by something closer to casual comfort. Jason wasn't so bad, I realized. He was trying, at least. And if he was important to Emma, then I'd have to make peace with that. I guess I owe you both an apology, Jason admitted. I kind of barged in here without thinking about how it might affect other people. Especially you, Alex. I appreciate that, I replied, surprised by his sincerity. And I shouldn't have jumped to conclusions either. I just panicked when I couldn't reach Emma. Well, now that we're all clearing the air, why don't we try to make the best of it? Emma said, her voice hopeful. It's way too late to kick you both out anyway. Jason grinned. Well, I'm not one to turn down a peace treaty. Especially if snacks are involved. I laughed, the sound coming easier now. Did someone say snacks? Because I could definitely go for something unhealthy and overly cheesy right now. Emma's eyes lit up. Lucky for you, I stocked up on chips and pizza rolls. Emergency comfort food stash. We moved to the kitchen, rummaging through cupboards and the freezer until the counter was a chaotic mess of snacks and soda cans. It felt strangely normal, the awkwardness melting away beneath laughter and mindless conversation. Jason turned out to be funnier than I expected, cracking jokes that had Emma rolling her eyes but smiling nonetheless. Seeing her happy made something inside me loosen, the worry and resentment replaced by something warmer. Hours slipped by without notice. By the time we'd finished the last of the pizza rolls and were groggily sprawled on the living room couch, it was already creeping toward dawn. Jason yawned and stretched. I should probably head home before I pass out on your floor. Emma laughed, her voice sleepy. Yeah, probably a good idea. Thanks for coming over, though. And for not freaking out too much. He shot me a playful grin. Guess that goes for you too, Alex. Sorry for the unintentional ambush. No worries. I think we're all good now, I replied, and meant it. Jason gave a casual wave before heading out the door. Emma and I sat in the quiet, our friendship finally feeling solid again. Thanks for being here, Emma said softly. I know tonight was weird, but I'm glad you came. Me too, I replied. Even if it was kind of a disaster. We both laughed, the sound full of relief and understanding. Whatever came next, we'd face it together.